The Connection Show. Inspiring hope, health, healing. Connecting the dots of your story and transforming your life. Sponsored by Braveheart Workshops. Live with Jill Reynolds.
The Connection Show. Inspiring hope, health, and healing. Sponsored by Braveheart Workshops, live with Jill Reynolds. And joining me today from the West Coast is Jeremy Lam. Welcome to the show, Jeremy.
It's a pleasure to be on, Jill. Thank you for having me on.
Well, you have an amazing history behind you, so we'd love to get to know you a lot better. Before we do, we just wanted to share a word from one of our affiliate partners, which is Holy Hydrogen. They've made an amazing machine that enhances hydrogen health within your cells. So listen in, and when you order this fantastic machine, make sure you use the promo code Braveheart to get up to $100 off.
Hydrogen is used by health professionals as a powerful antioxidant and the #1 tool to fight inflammation. Studies show therapeutic potential in cancer, diabetes, digestive, and heart issues, and essentially every organ and system in the body. This is not medical advice, because I'm not your doctor, but if you have any health concerns, I strongly recommend that you learn more about hydrogen. Get educated at holyhydrogen.com and order the best hydrogen generator known to man. Use code BRAVEHEART for $100 off your order. Because hydrogen is the smallest molecule in existence, it can pass through the cell membrane and even the blood-brain barrier to clear out inflammation and free radical damage where other antioxidants just can't get to. Visit holyhydrogen.com to see the latest technology that elevates your immune system and fights inflammation. Search their research library to see if hydrogen has a track record for helping a health concern you're dealing with. Make sure to use code BRAVEHEART for $100 off your order. Remember, holyhydrogen.com.
Well, welcome back to the show. And as you can see, hydrogen is so amazing for your cells. So we hope you'll get that machine today. So Jeremy, let's go on a journey back to little Jeremy when he was born and take us on a journey into grammar school, junior high, high school, throughout college, and share with us a little of the highlights of your life so that hopefully as people hear your story, their lives can be transformed as well.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I appreciate the opportunity to have this kind of conversation as well with you, Joe. I was born in Hong Kong, lived here for about 5 years. And then my parents and I, we immigrated to Virginia, to the United States, around 1995 when I was about 5 years old. I remember coming in on a blizzard, first time seeing snow in my life and in their lives as well. But I remember, my parents worked very hard so that I could have an American education, so I can have a lot of opportunities here in America. So went to elementary school, middle school. I grew up in the sort of Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, Northern Virginia area. Went to high school, and it was around sort of the middle school, 7th grade, 8th grade time. It used to be these Saturday morning cartoon shows that I was really, really into. This is back in the day when like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh were on, and this one particular cartoon anime called Yu-Gi-Oh. It's a card game and a TV show, and it incorporated holograms. It talked about virtual reality, and it talked about all this cool technology stuff that I was like, whoa, that's so cool. I want to do that in the future. So it was very, very early on, back when I was 14 years old, when I got inspired by this TV show to study engineering. And so I sort of went into high school with that mindset. Went to Georgia Tech for college in Atlanta, Georgia, studying computer engineering, graduated from there, went to work at Microsoft in Washington, worked on the Xbox One, worked on the HoloLens. Things started coming full circle. Eventually, I left Microsoft to come down here to San Jose, Silicon Valley, to pursue my own virtual reality metaverse startup. And the cool thing is, ever since I was inspired when I was 14, I've been recruiting and talking my friends' ears off about starting a startup. So actually, two of the folks who live with me now, two of my co-founders, two of the four co-founders, they're my middle school friends. So that's just sort of in a nutshell, that journey. Yeah.
So going back to the time of, well, let's take it, again, this show is all about connecting the dots of story. And I always believe that the dots of story have a lot of significance in our life. And so many of us, and you'll laugh because you're so techie, we like to fast forward the VCR, the video, the Vim, the TiVo machines quickly through the movie.
Yeah.
We TiVo past commercials, past everything, and we stop only on what we wanted to see or hear.
Yeah.
So let's take.
They're scary or cringe at least.
Yeah. So let's take the TiVo, rewind it back, because I really feel that story is so impactful. So let's rewind it to being 5 years old. What memories do you have of coming to the United States? I would assume you didn't speak English yet.
No, not at all.
And so talk to us a little bit about the painful things you went through being a child in the United States in a whole new country, not speaking the language.
It's interesting. As you were talking about the painful things, I remember this thing about, we can't change our past, right? Painful things happen, but we can decide to tell the story in our own way. So this is sort of me, telling you that story. The things I do remember is in kindergarten, didn't really know how to speak English. I really only knew please and thank you. And even when I said thank you, I'd say thank you with an F. And this was a big memory of mine because my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. McGuire, so, I'm going to remember her forever, would take me after class while the kids went out to recess and just one-on-one, work on my pronunciation, my speech, teaching me English words little by little. I remember her teaching me math with these little building blocks. It was pre-Legos. It wasn't even Legos yet. These little building blocks that you stick on top of each other. This is 1, this is 2 plus 2. And I remember I appreciated that so much even as a child. Every year after that, in first, second, third to 6th grade, I'd go back to her office every morning and just say, hello, good morning. I just do my little morning runs every day. So I guess to dive into the pain a little bit, not fitting in, the confusion, it's scary, right? Being in this alien environment, literally, where they're not speaking, my earthly language, right? Like it's completely different environment, language, culture. Kids behave in different ways.
Did you experience a little bullying, Jeremy? And then
all the time.
Right. So that's
yeah.
So let's again stay with the story. So let's talk about that. But then what's coming to me as I speak with you? Let's talk about the bullying and, like you used the word, the confusion. So if people are speaking a language you don't understand and you're confused, you're a little boy. At that point, and again, this is why I love to connect the dots. Do you have recollection of your mind needing to go into a third dimension for you to be able to feel like you belonged, almost like in an AI world back as a little boy, in order to connect because people didn't understand you?
I definitely think that was part of it. I think a lot of the, me and my friends who all feel like, at some point in time or even now don't really belong, and we sort of belong together. We share similar interests in, TV shows, movies, sci-fi, fantasy, sort of this escaping to another world, right? Where we could sort of build our own world, where things are fantastic. There's limited possibilities, really cool things happening, right? Like dragons and holograms and that sort of idea. When sort of the real world is a little scary, I don't know what to do with it. Bullying was very prevalent, all throughout childhood up until I went to college. That was sort of the huge turning point. But I'll speak a little more on that later. But yeah, bullying. I remember even just there was like a daycare that I went to before kindergarten, and kids would like throw, those little. I don't know why they made playgrounds out of this, but like little sharp wood chips that they laid playground. It made no sense because it's sharp and you're having kids running around with it. But kids would throw things at me and things like that. But every year, going into elementary school, I'd have like one friend, like one really precious friend who, is kind and gentle and caring and isn't an asshole. Sorry, am I allowed to say those things on here?
No, that's okay. That's okay. And, and I could envision you as a little boy going home and just crying, going, why is everyone so mean to me? Why do I deserve this? Why is this happening to me? Because you're just a little kid, and you're wanting to just enjoy life, and people are being mean. Do you remember that? Do you remember like going home to your mom or your dad and just saying, I don't get this. Why are people mean to me? Is something wrong with me?
I think that's a much more kind and innocent perspective. I had a much more negative reaction. The way I react, I think there's this idea, there's a fight, flight, and freeze response to danger, right? My response of choice was fight. So I reacted to things happening to me with anger. And so I was a very angry child, pretty much through, again, college was the turning point, all the way through, up until college. So I didn't really have the skills to even ask those questions, right? Why is this happening, right? Or like, what's wrong with me? Or, I just want to I didn't even get to dive down into those questions. I was just angry at the world.
So as a result of it then, were you the one who got in trouble with the teachers because they would see you getting angry and fighting back? And so were you the one that got disciplined instead of the bullies? It's almost, yeah.
I know folks like that. No, I was very silently and cunningly angry. I was a teacher's pet. I was a straight A student. That's where I funneled my anger. Was I'll show them, right? I'll do all my homework. I'll study my ass off. I'm gonna get A's on even though I wasn't smart, I tried hardest out of everybody. And it wasn't really until end of high school to college I actually started learning how to learn. But I tried really hard and I just put all my anger into that. I'll show them, right? I'll prove that my way of living life is the right way. Of course, there's no right or wrong. That's how I thought about it back then.
So your anger didn't manifest where you beat kids up on the playground and then you got in trouble, or I don't know.
I couldn't beat anybody up. I'm as scrawny back then as I am now.
Right. Like for me, Jeremy, when I was younger, I was the lost child. So I was the silent one until I wasn't. And when I say that, it wasn't until I got date raped at 14 that I acted out in rage and anger and swore at everybody and wanted to fight back. But up until then, I was the quiet little girl who internally was like dying inside. So with you having that internal anger, and yes, you said that you utilized intelligence to get good grades. How did it manifest within your own body? Did you find yourself becoming more sickly because the anger was stuck in your body?
Very much so. But first of all, I want to say I'm sorry that about that experience that you had. I do want to ask you some questions about the silence as well. But to answer your question real quickly, I think in general, anger, mind and body are very well connected. Right? Anger, for me, manifests itself as tension in the muscles, as heat, as high heart rate, extra attention, and just jitteriness, and like looking out for the next tiger that might jump out at me. So yeah, I think it did manifest itself in that way. it definitely manifested itself in a PE class, like sports, physical activity. Um, I go extra hard, even to the point of like throwing up, um, just to prove something, to myself. Yeah.
Did you get into running? Was running a thing for you?
Yeah, it's
Like
interesting.
like track?
Exactly. So I never, because I had this idea that I had to spend all my time on studies, I didn't actually participate in clubs. I wish I did, but track was the thing I was interested in, and PE, that was the one that I enjoyed the most and really did the most, was running. Yeah.
You like those endorphins to fill up that space in between that anger. It's like those endorphins would kick in for you.
I think so. Yeah, thinking back. Yeah.
Yeah. So see, connecting the dots is so imperative. It's like many of us don't take the time in our lives to sit back and just breathe in and go, that makes sense. That's the dot I was missing. That was the dot that I was missing. So as I see this in you, Jeremy, so let's go then. You get to high school, and like you said, you'd have that one or two good friends, but then you found a few other friends who were interested in the same shows and the same AI and artificial intelligence as you. So were you known in school as the geeks? Were you the geeky kids? And again, did other kids make fun of you guys because you were more geeky?
Yeah, I wish I was. I don't think I was even popular enough to be known as anything, to be known as a nerd or a geek. But I saw myself that way, very much so. That's how I would identify myself. I very much love music. I loved playing the cello in orchestra. I loved studying very hard, and whether it was math or science or English or history. I was very much a writing geek as well, like grammar and writing, creative writing and things like that. My friends, I think the biggest thing was just like not being an asshole, because, thinking back, maybe it shouldn't be surprising, but like, I think maybe I was probably the asshole, but from the time I felt like, oh, there's only one or two like nice people here in this lunchroom, right? That's usually where we would socialize, is at lunch. So I would just be sitting at a table, with one other friend or two other friends or three other friends and as the years went on from ninth grade to 12th grade, that table sort of grew a little bit, right? We found people with similar values and, not taking out our own insecurities on other people in the form of bullying or talking down at them, which happened a lot in a lot of my interactions with other people.
Well, and you know what's so sad about this story, and the story that many people go through that you're sharing? And again, the purpose of this show is for lives to be transformed as they hear your story. So that's the full purpose, that other people will go, oh, wow, I can connect with you, Jeremy. That's what I've gone through. And what I've seen over the years, Jeremy, with this manifestation of isolation and loneliness and rejection and not feeling like you fit in the school body with other children, is a lot of cutting would take place. Kids would cut, and I would talk to children that were cutting and say, I don't understand it. And they says, oh, when I cut, I feel like I'm alive because I can feel the pain of the knife cutting into my skin, or, and just the horrendous thoughts of suicide ideation. I wish I wasn't here. I can't stand life being this miserable. So, or then, I got to escape this with drugs or alcohol or sex or other things. How did you fill that gap? Did you have those thoughts of wanting to cut or wanting to commit suicide or drink and drug?
I think everybody experiences their own version of these experiences. And I think something important that I try to remember is everybody's problems are big to them, right, in their own way. So it's okay. So for me, I think I drowned myself in this hope that I grabbed onto, which was, I don't know how to navigate life, right? Because life is challenging. I know I don't fit in Virginia. This isn't my place. This isn't my home. This isn't where I belong. But if I just work my ass off and study really, really hard, even though I'm not smart, even though I'm not good at it, right? Even though I don't actually get, the best grades, that hard work will pay off at some point, and that'll turn into an opportunity. And when that opportunity comes, I'm going to be there to see it and take it. And there's a hope for change, of finding a life where I belong, where like this is what I always wanted. So I just sort of focused on that, right? All these other bad things would happen, but I would always go back to, like, this is what I'm doing. I'm working really hard for this chance, right? And someday it's going to be different. And it, luckily for me, it actually happened, right? The college was the turning point. That was when, I actually feel like I belong. And then since college and, coming here, like, it was just kept being more and more, like, this is my home. This is the life I wanted to live. This is where I belong. So, yeah.
That's beautiful. I'm really glad that you grasped onto hope, because, a lot of times people utilize the definition of hope. Like, I hope for a promotion. I hope that one day I'll be married. I hope one day I'll be successful. But, for me, Jeremy, in my journey of going through pain and struggles, I finally came to the realization that for me, hope is in God. And I really am a spiritual person, and I really do believe in God the Father, Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, the three in one. And I really believe that when I can come outside of my own pain and I can find hope in Him first, because I really now believe in my mind that He created me in His image for a purpose in life. And so my purpose is to serve Him and serve God. And through that, I can love others and serve mankind. So I put my hope first in God. And through that, whatever blessings manifest, it's beautiful. And so today, where is your hope today?
People are amazing. People, how do I put this in words? There's so many different types of people and different people who've experienced different lives that I'll never get to experience or understand or know. And when people come together on a common interest, on a common goal, we can do amazing things, and we can solve problems. There's a lot of problems in the world, but I come from an engineering sort of thinking and background, so this is sort of how I see it: is problems are solvable, right? Big problems, you break them down into smaller problems, and you take it one little baby step at a time. Mm-hmm. And we can solve it logically, we can solve it emotionally. The hope is in people, right? Because people are amazing, they're unfathomable, potential is unimaginable. And when faced with a problem, I have seen, and I know, and I believe in the future, we'll come together and solve those problems. And it'll be amazing. It'll be really cool to watch. It'll be really cool to be part of. So.
Well, I love that, because I love the saying, Jeremy, look for the similarities in others instead of the differences. If we spent more time finding our similarities instead of our differences, I think there'd be much more unity in the world. Instead of fighting and saying, well, I believe in this, you believe in that. It's like, wait a minute. Like, I just met you, and I can connect with you on the parts of sadness or loneliness or disconnection that you had as a little boy. I can connect with that. So I've never met you in my whole life. This is the first time. I'm 69 years old. How old are you, Jeremy?
I turned 32 in a week.
Right. And so there's no differences in our age because we've had similar experiences that we've gone through. So as you hear these stories, everyone listening, really grasp for similarities moving forward in life instead of always fighting with each other with the differences, and like you said, that's hopeful. That is hopeful. So take us, Jeremy.
Can I just comment real quick?
Yeah.
I never thought about that until you asked me, about what I have hope in. And I guess that manifests itself in my work as well, because that's what I do for work. I bring people together to solve technology problems, not like worldly problems, but, we solve tech problems and business problems. So, yeah, it was really interesting.
That's great. So tell me now, so you graduated college and you were blessed with starting different types of businesses. So let's take about 5-10 minutes so the audience can really connect with you, and I'll put on your bio. Tell us a little bit about your business and how your business can help them in their life.
Sure, thank you. So I'm founder and CEO of Venu, and we help businesses create experiential marketing campaigns with Metaverse conferences. We come from a background of, before this, we were making virtual reality games, VR games, social multiplayer games, where you work as a team and you collaborate, and that was a lot of fun to do. And at the same time, we were hosting in-person conferences, big, hundreds of people type of conferences with Microsoft, with Samsung, with AMD here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And one day we just decided to combine the two to create Venu, because it actually was born out of a problem back in 2019, before COVID. I was looking at our business, our gaming business, and I was like, well, we need more, this business is stable. How do we get more clients? Oh, we get most of our customers and connections at these conferences. But I can host more than one conference a year. It takes 6 to 12 months to get people book flights and hotels and travel. It's just a huge ordeal. What was as simple as a click of a button? So we're like, hey, so at first we were looking at existing platforms, and no other platform was proper for a professional business conference. The platforms for friends, there's platforms for hanging out or music, but nothing for a business conference. So we're like, hey, we have the skills, right? We run conferences and we make VR games. Let's just combine the two. That's how we created Venu. It's funny, we spent 2.5 weeks building our own prototype just to try it out. We held a 100-person tech investment conference, and the feedback we got from that was way more positive than any feedback on our games. People loved the little 2.5-week prototype of Venu way more than any games we've made in the past. So we're like, hey, there's something here. Let's spend a year on it. A year later, we got into this Y Combinator accelerator in the Bay Area. That really helped us accelerate and taught us a lot of things and connected us with a lot of investors. We opened our seed round. One of our lead investors is Harvard. We're backed by Harvard. And since then, we've been working with customers like Microsoft. There's this organization that we worked with called YPO, Young Presidents Organization, where we held the COVID relief trade show during the midst of the pandemic, connecting doctors and medical companies to share research, their findings, their products, and just connect and try to solve the problems of the pandemic. And I remember we had Dr. Salim Gounder from the U.S. White House Task Force giving our keynote, Dr. Sanjay Gupta from CNN, Chief Medical Correspondent of CNN, come give our keynote as well. Very proud of that. So yeah,
now you got to do the America frontline doctors who know quite a bit of stuff, and they're fabulous. Dr. Simone Gold, Dr. Judy Mikovits, Dr. Mark Sherwood, Dr. Brian Ardis, phenomenal American frontline doctors who literally have saved over 20 to 30,000 lives each doctor from COVID with not one death. So it's amazing what can be done in different arenas. And so with that, I want to pause for just one moment to show your bio. So this is Jeremy's bio in his website, which is Venu, spelled VENU, and then the number 3 and then D.com. Venu3D.com. Is that correct?
Yep, that is correct. Thank you.
Yes. So that is how you can reach out to him and find him. So, we just would love to stay connected with you and have others connect with you as well, and just see what goes on in this new AI environment. A girlfriend of mine is doing an AI event here in Branson, Missouri, where I live, and she's got it all set up to do a Branson Film Festival in AI. And so I think it's just the only problem that I have, and it's kind of funny that I can tell you.
Yeah.
At 69 years old, you're going to laugh. I still get confused when I try to take my avatar into the world and figure out how to move it around. I still, no matter what, and I've tried that, and I'm always left at the doorway trying to figure out, where did everyone go? How do I get into this room? And so I think that's the only thing, as us senior people try to understand the new worlds of how to get around in it. You know, younger people your age can figure this out much faster than we can.
And it's important, very important for us to make Venu, the experience, accessible by everybody, right? Like the doctors conference that we had, we had folks over 65 and, doctors and CEOs coming to attend. So we made it a very intentional effort to make Venu, you click join the event in Venu, and you're in the exact place that you need to be, and you can immediately start talking to people. The controls, I hear you. Early on, we had video game controls because we were video game developers, and people were like, "How do I do this? I don't play video games, right?" And so we designed a movement system and a multifaceted movement system, so it would be very easy to pick up, and it'd be very easy to learn how to do it as well. So everything that you said is very much top of mind, because we don't want to make the metaverse exclusive. My vision for the metaverse, and a lot of the folks in our industry, we want to bring everything that the world has to offer into the metaverse. That's the people.
Well, I still am begging you, because I just met you. I'm still begging you on your site to change your word. I still for me, because I just shared with you, my hope is in God, and I can't stand the word meta, M-E-T-A, because meta, if you look up the word meta, it means evil and demonic. But if you change the word from meta to mega, M-E-G-A, it means strong. So I prefer worlds being created, not like Zuckerberg, which is doing metaverses, and to me, I think he's very evil and demonic. I think it's much better to go into the word mega to make it a strong, unity, love-filled world, and not a demonic, evil world.
I mean, unifying and bringing people together is the hope and the dream of what we do.
Yes. So anyway, we are so grateful to get to know you. And before we leave, everyone, I'd love to share one more commercial from an affiliate partner, actually from the California area, Jeremy. His name is Hip Train, and he started a tech firm in California, and it grew to 5,000 employees. And because he worked many hours, he ended up drinking too much and went into treatment for his alcoholism. Upon entering treatment, they wanted to medicate him, and he didn't want to. So when he discharged, he said, I'm going to do whatever it takes to be able to create organic nutritional supplementation that will heal your body and diminish anxiety, depression, so that people can heal. And so he created this company called Amare Global. Amare means love, and they're created as the mental wellness company. So listen into this commercial. You'll love this company. Amazing people. Amare Global is the mental wellness company. In 2018, Amare won the Nutra Award for the world's first award-winning gut-brain axis nutrition system. for their flagship product, the Fundamentals Pack, clinically proven to increase good bacteria in the gut and incredible benefits. Amare means love, and there is love in every bottle. Mental health matters, and Amare is the mental wellness company. Prepare your body's gut microbiome for optimized mental wellness with a reboot and get yourself back to feeling joyful and motivated with mood. Round out your daily nutrition with GBX food systems. Crush your daily to-do list each day with Edge. Support your digestion and immune system with digestive, probiotics, omega, and Vita GBX supplements. Fuel your mental edge with our Mental Fitness Pack. Feel like your best self with the Happy Hormone Pack. Unlock your brain's potential with happy neurons with the Happy Mind Pack. And combine these products for an ultimate day with the Happy Juice Pack. For weight loss and energy, order the Transformational Pack. Our Kids Pack is the first comprehensive mental wellness pack for kids and teens. For a complete mind and body nutrition system, get your kids these today. Begin your wellness journey with Amare's Starter Pack and save. Start with the Entrepreneur Pack if you're serious about making an impact on your mental, physical, and financial wellness. Launch your Amare business with all our top products, packs, offers, and save. Help others achieve overall wellness too and gain financial wellness. Become a mental wellness partner today. Shop now and save. Sign up today by going to our website listed on this page. Well, as you can see, Amare Global, when their first year out the door, they won the Neutral Award against 8,000 other products on the market. So the easiest way to connect with me, with Amare, is go to my website, which is braveheartworkshops.com, and click on Affiliate Partners, and you'll see that video and that link to Amare Global on my website. So, Jeremy, in closing, do you have any final words you'd love to leave the audience with today?
I guess I just want to say thank you, Jill, for this very interesting and self-reflective conversation. And I guess putting the work and the business aside, if you enjoyed listening to the conversation, if you felt like you related to maybe some of the stories, or you want to hear more about the stories, I'm happy to chat, just casually on a personal level as well. So feel free to reach out to me. The best way to reach me is still the work email, jeremy@venu3d.com, venu3d.com. Or if you want to talk about work, I'm more than happy to chat about that too. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jeremy. And thanks, everyone. Stay on the line when we hang up, Jeremy. But thanks for joining us on The Connection Show. Have a wonderful day filled with hope, health, and healing in the world. Bye now.